Guys, we're looking at one of the most important weekends in a very, very, very long time. Because, of course, with everything that's happened this week, all the noise, all the drama, we need to win. Manchester United need to win. Now, I'm going to talk about the Arsenal game. I'm going to talk about the games that are happening this weekend. But the first and foremost, the thing that I'm thinking about is how Man United are going to respond. Now, I've already just seen Amarim's quotes about sometimes I want to quit. Listen, guys, I said it time and time again. Amarim is allowed to make a million mistakes in the media. He's allowed to make a million comments and then apologize later. He's allowed to punch and break the TV in the Carrington changing rooms. He's allowed to do whatever he wants. And he's allowed to apologize about it. But other people, you know, one strike, one comment, it's wrong. The whole fan base turn on them. I'm not going to get into that. But I see the double standards. And just yesterday, I said he's over emotional. And this just proves it today. He said, sometimes I want to quit. Sometimes I love the players. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I want to stay 20 years. Clearly, he's a guy that's confused, very emotional, doesn't take defeat well. And I can imagine how that radiates off to the team. You know, I can only imagine. He doesn't seem stable after games. So imagine what he's saying to the team in the change room. If you show somebody anger too many times, eventually they kind of, what's the word? If you bluff so many times, eventually nobody's going to kind of play to that. So for example, if like every time I'm angry and I'm saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, and you don't do it, eventually I'm just going to think, oh, yeah, whatever. And I think that's the case with Ruben Amorim. One of the best things about Sir Alex Ferguson is he was very selective with his anger. Jose Mourinho too, he was very selective. You know, like some games he'll come in, don't worry. You know, it doesn't matter. Some games he'll come in fuming. So when he does come in fuming, you understand, oh, we've done bad. Same thing with Arsene Wenger. You know what I mean? Like Wenger's known for being such a nice guy, but when he comes in and he's fuming, you know he's done bad. But if a guy is constantly emotional, you're just going to think whatever. It's like when your girlfriend's crying, bro. Your girlfriend's crying all the time. You cry over everything, bro. You know what I mean? Now when she is actually crying about something serious, you don't know if you can take her seriously. Because she cried because you weren't with her last night. She cried because you didn't call her. So how do you know when something's serious? This is how I feel about it, right? So them press conference, that didn't fill me with any confidence going into this game. I'm not going to lie. It didn't. You know, he did say he wants to keep Kobe. I don't believe it. But he probably does want to keep Kobe, but I don't think he has him in his plans. But going into that, obviously Chelsea are the 12:30 game. Wolves, Everton, Tottenham, Bournemouth, Man United, Burnley. I'll start with Man United, Burnley. Guys, if we do not win this football match, this could get toxic. I mean, it's already getting there, but this can get... I don't think Amorim has received the Old Trafford boos yet. He hasn't been to that stage yet. And I think when we've booed, it's more at the team. If we don't win against Burnley, there's going to be serious boos at the end of the game or at halftime. This is a big game. And the scary part about it is, guys, I can't walk into this game saying, I think Manchester United are going to win. I'm not confident. And listen, Grimsby exposed that. Fulham exposed that. I'm not confident in any football match. Because I think any competent manager can school Manchester United, can school what United have to offer. Any competent manager, in my opinion. You know, so Scott Parker, a lot is on you right now. Let's see what Scott Parker's going to do, but a lot is on him. Like, it's not hard to go and get a result against Man United, evidently. So I'm not confident about this fixture, I'll be honest. Everything I expect to be the same. That's the thing. Like, I can't even sit here, guys, and give a preview and think, oh, well, this might be different. I'm expecting the same thing. You know, I want to see if he starts Kobe, but will he? What I do want to see is what is he going to do with Mason Mount? So the reason why I say that is because Mason Mount in pre-season, maybe Dorgu was better in pre-season, but he was one of our better players in pre-season, and he started this season as one of our better players. But he's been starting because Cunha's been 9. So what is he going to do? Is he going to drop Mason Mount and put Sesko in? Because we cannot go another game without a focal point, without a striker. So we need Sesko starting. So does that mean he drops Mbumo? Does that mean he drops Cunha? That's a decision that he's going to have to make. He did make a good impact at left wing back, but I do not want to see Mason Mount playing left wing back. And, you know, in the centre mid role, it doesn't seem like he's an option, even though I think he could be a decent option in one of them 8 roles. He's got the energy, he's got the legs, he can get about. You know what I mean? But as I said, I feel like right now he's the only person that understands that number 10 kind of role in an Amarim team. You know what I mean? Like receiving the ball in the half turn, linking up well. He's the only one. I haven't seen Cunha as of yet. You know, Cunha is making a lot of individual stuff happen, but passes getting into him between the lines and stuff, it's not really happening. And Mbumo doesn't look like it's necessarily his role per se, you know. And then Bruno's not good at it. Xerxes, looks out of place when he does it as well. So I'm interested to see what's happening. Xerxes is getting minutes under his belt, so hopefully he can make a cameo at some point. We're gonna need him this season because, you know, if it's not Sesko, who is it gonna be? You know, people might say Cunha, but we'll see about that. I'm not sure in this type of system. So those are the real question marks for me. Is he going to start Mason Mount? Is he going to start Sesko? What's he going to do with Kobbie Mainoo? I don't know. You know what I mean? But I expect Bruno to start. I expect Casemiro to start. Dorgu, Ahmad, I reckon he's going to go with. And then he'll go with the same back 3. Luke, I think he'll go with Luke Shaw, De Ligt. Well, Maguire's back, so I would probably get Maguire in the team. But I don't know how he's going to do it. Maguire, De Ligt, Luke Shaw, I don't know what he's going to do in that regards, to be honest. He'll probably go Luke Shaw, De Ligt, and Lenny Yoro. And then obviously in goal, I actually don't know. Would he go with Bayinda? Would he go with Onana? $1 million question. Which way do you want to kill yourself, bruh? You know what I mean? You want to die by stabbing or do you want to die by gunshot? You know, you pick. You pick. You want to die by stabbing or you want to die by gunshot? Because Onana and Bayinda, they're doing either. Either way, yeah, you gonna die, bro. Either way, you gonna feel this. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really know about that. But it's a 3 p.m. for once on a Saturday. Maybe we can win in the dark. Maybe we can win when nobody's looking, you know? Because when it's main event TV, you know, when it's SummerSlam, you know, when it's WrestleMania. Now we ain't WrestleMania. We ain't WrestleMania level fighters, bro. Put us just on SmackDown, regular programming. Let us get a quick win when nobody's looking. You know what I mean? So, listen, I'm still going to have to back Manchester United, even though I'm not confident. But I'm going to go for a narrow win for Man United. I'm going to go for a narrow win. I'm going to go for about maybe like a 1-0 narrow win for Man United. You got Chelsea, Fulham, West London, Derby. Listen, right next to each other. Fulham, Broadway, all the way over. Hey, it's a close one. This a close proximity. So I'm looking forward to seeing this one. Is Garnacho going to feature? Probably not. He's still probably going to have to he'll probably get his unveiling. I expect Chelsea to win, though. Even though Fulham done well against Man United, I do expect Chelsea to win at home to Fulham. Chelsea have lost just 8.3% of their Premier League games against Fulham. 3 out of 36 games. You know what I mean? So it's the joint lowest loss rate any side has against another team in a minimum of 20 meetings, etc. on Manchester United, which is joint 8.3% versus Aston Villa. So that's a little stat for you guys. But Fulham did win this last season. You know what I mean? Did win this game last season, and they've never gone to Stamford Bridge and won consecutively. These are some of the stats that I'm reading off. So Fulham will have confidence because they have beat them there last season. If Iwobi is playing like how he did against Man United, if they still got Muniz, he was meant to leave Muniz, but he didn't end up leaving. So that's a focal point for them right there. And I like Marco Silva, and I like what Fulham have got going on. But I think Chelsea will be too strong. I think Cole Palmer, I'm trying to find out now if Cole Palmer is back. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Is Cole Palmer fit? No, Cole Palmer is out, but then that will give another chance to maybe see Esteval, who got a great assist versus West Ham. You know what I mean? So another opportunity for Esteval to have a run around. And that's not too much of a problem. I don't think that's too much of a problem. That's the thing that Chelsea have added this season. But at the same time, is he going to go with Delap up front, or is he going to go with João Pedro? You know, they played both of them against West Ham, and he might run that back. Enzo, obviously, he does his box crashing, the Kevin Nolan role, box crashing. And if you've got the two wide men putting the balls into the box, Enzo can get some goals. So listen, Cole Palmer's a big loss, of course. You know, you don't want to start saying Chelsea are more fluid or whatever without him. Definitely a big loss. However, I think Chelsea can cope for this fixture. You know what I mean? I was disappointed with Chelsea against Palace. They redeemed themselves against West Ham, albeit West Ham are the worst team in the league, probably other than Man United. But I expect them to continue with the back-to-back wins against Fulham. And then, obviously, look, there's Tottenham, Bournemouth. That's going to be a really good game. I don't think that's going to be straightforward. That's going to be a really, really good game. Iraola, I might have to have the split screen because, bro, I might have to start scouting for the next manager of Manchester United, guys. I might have to start scouting for the next manager of Manchester United. And it might be Iraola. It could be. I don't know if it will be, but it could be. I have to start looking. I'm trying to get my shortlist up. And listen, you know how Amarim was playing with the little formation thing? That's how I'm moving around my managerial options. Yo, who's going to go? Yeah, but maybe him. What did he do in his last 3 seasons? I got to start doing that. You know what I mean? Because, if it gets dark versus Burnley, people, oh my God. I don't even know if I'll do a video. At this point, I don't even know if I'll do a video, honestly. But yeah, you've got Tottenham, Bournemouth, you've got Sunderland. I think Tottenham, that's going to be a drew. Xavi Simons just got announced. The vibes is good. Tottenham do sometimes start seasons fast. I think that's going to be a draw. I'm going to go draw. Tottenham, Bournemouth. I'm going to go draw. Sunderland, Brentford. I hope Sunderland win. They need to redeem themselves after that poor loss the other day. I'm going to go for a Sunderland win. Wolves, Everton. I'm going to go Sunderland win 2-1. Wolves, Everton. Everton away from home. I'm not too sure what their stats are away from home. How good they are away from home. I like what they do at home. Obviously, it's not Goodison anymore. It's the, what is it? Dick Hilson. What is it? Hilson Dickinson or something like that. Hill Dickinson or something like that. But I'm going to go with Everton, you know. I'm going to go with Everton away win. I'm going to go with a 2-1 Everton. And then we've got Leeds, Newcastle. I'm going to get into the Liverpool-Arsenal game. That's the one that I know everybody wants to hear about. You got Leeds, Newcastle. I think Newcastle should be winning that. I still think Newcastle are a strong team. I know everyone thinking about their transfer window. Did they have a bad one? Blah, blah. But I still fancy them, man. I still think Newcastle have a good team. When you look at their flat 11, it's still solid. So, guys, like, I wouldn't write off Newcastle by any means. You know what I mean? I wouldn't write them off. So I'm still going to go for a Newcastle win. Ellen Road, 5:30, late kickoff, I know. But I'm going to go with a Newcastle win. And I'm going to go with a 3-1 to Newcastle. A 3-1 to Newcastle. Now, let's get into the big one. Liverpool versus Arsenal at Anfield. And you know one thing that I'm getting off Arsenal fans for this one? They're confident. People, Arsenal are confident. I remember Arsenal going to Anfield and not being confident. Like, you know when Klopp days and Arteta was early and stuff, that wasn't where you wanted to go. But Arsenal, I'm noticing, are fairly confident walking into this fixture, people. You know, they're not afraid of Anfield. And to be honest, they don't need to be. Arsenal have been good against Liverpool in the last 3 seasons. I would say 2 seasons. The last 4 or 5 meetings that I think Liverpool and Arsenal have had. I actually think Arsenal have been the better team for the large majority of it. Now, the results, there were some draws. I don't think Liverpool have beat them in a while. I don't think they have, even when they're winning the league. I think Arsenal know how to play against Liverpool, but again, it's a different Liverpool. They've got Florian Wirtz now. They've got Ekitike. So they've got different ways of breaking it down. And it will be a poetic moment for Wirtz after all the criticism he's receiving, which I think is just crazy. Like, whatever. That's just the internet these days, right? But it will be poetic for him to get his first goal in a big game like this, you know, Liverpool v Arsenal, and everybody's watching. What a way for him to announce himself to the Premier League, then scoring against the title rivals, the title contenders, you know, fellow title contenders. Mo Salah's there. We know what Mo Salah's going to do. Van Dijk just came off an amazing game against Newcastle. Gravenberch coming in is a help, but Liverpool do look defensively vulnerable. You look at what happened in the Newcastle game. You think to themselves, 10 men, and they still gave Liverpool one hell of a game. Liverpool so far haven't shown that steel. Konate, I don't think, has started the season well. Kirkes hasn't started the season well. Frimpong is now injured. So Liverpool are not got that steel that Arsenal definitely possess. I've spoken about Gabriel and Saliba many times. I think Gabriel and Saliba are the best duo in world football as a centre-back partnership. I've said I think those two deserve a Premier League. I'm not going to lie. I think they deserve a Premier League for their consistency they've showed over the years. But listen, football is not about what you deserve. You got to go and snatch it. You know what I mean? You got to go and snatch it. But I think them two as a partnership, how they attack corners, how they defend transitions, how they defend 1v1s, how they defend in low block, mid block, whatever you require from them two as a partnership are able to do it. And when I look at the all-time centre halves, John Terry, Rio, Campbell and Torre partnership, Vidic and Ferdinand, you look at Carvalho and Terry, and then you can even go Terry and Cahill, you go Van Dijk and Matip, and they, for me, you know, with one Premier League, they'll be in that conversation. They'll be in that conversation for me, you know what I mean? So I think set pieces is where the difference can be. And I know that's on the set piece again, but Van Dijk is going to have to be a colossal, because when Arsenal start loading in them set pieces, it's a problem. Are we going to get to see Eze make his debut? Eze making his debut at Anfield. Again, I just spoke about Florian Wirtz being able to announce himself. Imagine if Eze announces himself with a winner at Anfield. That will go absolutely crazy. And Arsenal fans will start dreaming of that Premier League title. Let me tell you that. So now, I think this is going to be a close one. I think Arteta is going to probably set up a little bit in the mid-block, but have a good transition threat, because that is the way you can get at Liverpool. I do think Arsenal should still, at the same time, make sure you take the game to them. You know, because Liverpool have conceded 4 goals, scored 7. Arsenal have scored 6, conceded 0. You know, Arsenal feel like the complete package in a way. Yes, I think they, you know, it still sometimes looks a little bit slow, a little bit when they're attacking, but that's where you hope Eze comes in. Obviously, a massive miss in Saka. Saka being gone is a big loss. But I think at any point now, this is probably the best equipped Arsenal have been to subside for Saka. You can put Noni there, you can put Waneri there. Obviously, it's early, it's crazy to say, but Max Dowman comes off the bench. They've got probably a bit more depth in that role than they ever have. So I think Eze is actually going to start. Well, I hope he does, because Odegaard's out. Put him in straight away. He just played 2 Premier League games. He doesn't need to wait. Put him in straight away, but it's a big ask. It is a big ask. Is he going to go with like a Moreno, just shore things up a little bit? We definitely know Zubimendi's going to play. We definitely know Declan Rice is going to play. And this is probably the final game that Liverpool will play before Alexander Isak is at the club. So Arsenal need to take advantage. I think Liverpool are going to come out fast. I think Liverpool are going to come out on fire. 4:30 kickoff at Anfield. They know it's against their rivals, but Liverpool haven't won in 6 matches against Arsenal. So Arsenal know how to play against Liverpool. So that's a long streak. I remember that used to be the case, that used to be the case in the like late mid 2000s to late 2000s. Arsenal used to have Liverpool's number. It really did used to have Liverpool's number. All the last 3 games at Anfield have been a draw. And funny enough, guys, not to be boring, but I'm predicting a draw. I'm predicting a thrilling draw, though. I'm predicting a 2-2 draw. I think it's going to be fast how Liverpool are going to start. Arsenal are going to suffocate as they do. But then I think when that 1 goal goes in, it's going to open up this game for whoever. If Arsenal score first, if Liverpool score first, it's whatever. But this is the 3rd game of the season, and they are meeting each other, title rivals. They are going to both want to put a statement out that they are going to be the ones at the end of the season lifting the Premier League. So I'm looking at this now, and I'm thinking to myself, draw, because as much as they're going to go for it, they're both going to be a little bit wary. You don't want to play, you want to show your hand to your rival early, you know? So I'm going to say draw 2-2. It's going to be a very good game, I reckon. I'm going to say Ekatike will score. And I'm going to say Ekatike scores. Is McAllister back? Is he back? I'm going to go Ekatike scores. Salah will get an assist. And I'm going to say McAllister is going to get a goal. And I'm going to go with a Declan Rice goal. And Go on, Big Gabby. And a Big Gabby set piece. That's what I'm going to go with, guys. This is my Premier League preview. Just a little preview for you guys, just to talk about the game. Drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Predictions. I didn't want to go too into every single game. Man City are obviously playing Brighton. And where is that? Away to Brighton. I think Man City will have enough. I'm going to go 3-1 Man City there. Away to Brighton. And yeah, guys, man, let me know in the comments what you think. Like, share, subscribe, turn notifications on. The support you guys have been showing on the channel has been unbelievable. Listen, guys. If Manchester, listen, you know, let me cue the music. Guys, if Manchester United do not beat Burnley at Old Trafford, there might be a riot. It could get dark. This could be one of the worst weekends in Manchester United history. I'm worried. I'm scared. But we have to do it. There's no other option. There's no other choice. Guys, like, share, subscribe, turn your notifications on. It's your boy CultureCams. I will see you. I don't know if I'm doing a watch along. I might do a watch along for Man United, but I will definitely see you for a reaction. I might do both. So guys, make sure you're out there. Like, share, subscribe. I'm out. Peace.